After the infamous spaghetti incident, Harold's culinary confidence was, surprisingly, not completely destroyed. If anything, it was slightly mutated. Like a hero in a bad superhero origin story, he was determined to face his nemesis once again, the kitchen. This time, for Linda's birthday, he wouldn't just cook, he would bake. Harold wanted to make something extra special. After several minutes of online searching and accidentally ordering 12 boxes of cake mix via one-click shopping, he settled on Grandma Edna's triple chocolate masterpiece, foolproof and perfect for beginners. "This is my redemption arc," he whispered to himself dramatically, as if a reality TV camera crew was filming his journey. Back at the store, Harold faced the great wall of baking supplies. He stood frozen in the aisle, reading labels like they were written in an alien language: cocoa powder, Dutch process, unsweetened, black cocoa, butter, salted, unsalted, whipped, cultured, churned by free-range monks, sugar, granulated, powdered, superfine, turbinado. Was that even a real word? Harold decided to take the universal male approach to unfamiliar shopping: buy one of everything. His cart looked like a baking explosion had occurred somewhere between aisle 5 and his mild panic attack. At home, Harold meticulously arranged his ingredients like a chemistry experiment. He even pulled out the stand mixer Linda had gifted him 6 months earlier, which still had the instruction manual inside. Mistake number 1. Instead of carefully reading the manual, Harold gave it a confident nod and said, "How hard can it be? It's just spinning." The mixing, the recipe called for creaming butter and sugar. Harold, misunderstanding room temperature butter, took the rock-solid butter straight from the fridge and threw it into the mixer at full speed. The mixer groaned. The butter cubes launched like tiny hockey pucks around the kitchen. "Aggressive start," Harold mumbled. He microwaved the next batch of butter until it was mostly liquid. There, creamy. Cracking eggs went slightly better this time. He only dropped 1 egg on the floor and only accidentally added 1 eggshell into the batter. Extra crunch. Gourmet. When adding flour, Harold forgot to lower the mixer speed. He created what can only be described as the great indoor snowstorm of 2025, flour dust everywhere. The dog sneezed in the corner. The batter was poured into the pan, except Harold forgot to grease it. He shrugged. Non-stick pans are magical, right? Then came temperature confusion. The recipe clearly said 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But Harold remembered his time-saving theory from his spaghetti night and boldly went for 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Baking turbo mode engaged. The cake puffed up beautifully for 7 minutes. Then it sank like a deflating balloon, followed by the edges turning a concerning shade of lava rock grey. The center, however, remained raw, basically pudding. Not to be defeated, Harold hacked away at the misshapen cake lump, scraping off the worst of the burnt bits. He dumped 2 tubs of store-bought chocolate frosting on top and spread it with a spatula that kept sticking. At one point, he resorted to using a hair dryer to soften the frosting. Sprinkles. Dumped the entire jar. Edible glitter. Why not? Gummy bears. Sure, maraschino cherries. Absolutely. A mini umbrella. Classy touch. By the end, the cake looked like Willy Wonka had sneezed on it. When Linda arrived, Harold dimmed the lights dramatically and emerged from the kitchen carrying what could only be described as a chocolate-covered chaos sculpture. "Happy birthday," he beamed proudly. Linda stared at the cake, then at Harold, then at the leaning, frosted tower of dessert. With heroic restraint, she said, "Wow, it's very creative." They both laughed until tears came. They carefully cut into the cake. The knife met resistance halfway through before squelching into the gooey center. Linda bravely took a small bite, chewed, paused. "It's an adventure," she said with a wink. They both agreed to order delivery and spent the rest of the night laughing, watching movies, and eating perfectly safe cheesecake from the local bakery. The cake was later donated to Science for Geological Study. Harold officially retired from baking for a while. The second goldfish, purchased that weekend, was named Cake. Sometimes, it's not about baking the perfect cake. It's about baking memories even if they're slightly burnt on the edges.